My name is also Joanna. We didn't want to confuse everyone too much on that. And I lead Foresight for McDonald's. So the question that I often get is, McDonald's has a Foresight function? What do you do? Predict the future of burgers? So it's a relatively new function in the organization. It's about 2 years old. And we sit inside of the Global corporation based out of the Chicago head office and inside of the customer experience team. So anything that touches the customer, so we work quite closely with menu innovation, with marketing, restaurant design, you name it. But because we sit inside of the corporate space, we serve the entire global system as well. So over 119 countries, and we can get called in at any point, at any function level to collaborate on future opportunities. While that might seem a little bit daunting, for me, I actually did something very similar before McDonald's. I started the Foresight team inside of Mars Wrigley, so confectionery. And before that, marketing. So I was telling Aaron, I basically stumbled into Foresight. I didn't realize that it was something that you could do full-time and get paid for. How amazing is that, and what we all do. So I feel incredibly honored and lucky to do what I do. And the second part to the question, so how is Foresight in a corporation like McDonald's different to how you all do Foresight? I told Aaron this is a 40-minute panel in and of itself. So I'll do my best. What I will say very strongly is that we are business people first and Foresight practitioners second. We need to respect the business that we operate in, its goals, its ambitions, its history, and its stakeholders, and really tailor Foresight to work in the best possible way in respect of that.
Great. We'll start with that, Joanna. Let's take kind of responses from everybody else as well, and then we'll see how the themes develop. Ben.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ben Moncrieffe. I head up the strategic foresight team at JLR. But like Joe, it's a fairly new team, so I started the team 2 years ago. I think it's fair to say that JLR and also lots of other automotive OEMs have used trends and risk insights and business intelligence to drive strategy and innovation, but I think strategic foresight as a practice is pretty new at JLR. So I started it 2 years ago and built it from the ground up. And prior to that, I'm a strategist by trade. So I spent nearly 10 years in brand strategy, innovation, and customer insight. How is corporate foresight different to other organisations? Yeah, I agree with you. It's a big question. We could talk for ages. Look, I think I've written about this, and for me, there's a huge part of doing strategic foresight in a big corporate entity, which is about understanding the maturity of the organisation. You know, often I say there's a danger that I can be the boy who cried wolf, or the I told you so guy. And you know, it's about having a really comprehensive understanding of where the business is at, where it is at on its transformation journey, and when is the right time to ring the bell and say, this is something we need to jump on, this is a kind of a headwind we need to tackle, and if the business isn't ready for it, then you are probably not doing your job well enough.
I don't think you can run away from being the boy or girl who cried wolf, but the key is to do it in a less smug way rather than get you sacked at some point. That applies in governments as well, by the way, not just in the corporate world. Joanna.
Hi everybody, my name is Joanna Lenkova. I am the Futurology Director at the Group. My department is located in Creative Play Lab, which is the innovation department of the Group. However, we work beyond just innovation, and I'm very happy to say that we've created an internal community of believers in foresight, and we're trying to spread future's intelligence as well as the mindset of approaching the future with open arms and proactivity very well. So I'm very lucky to work for a company that is already creative and already open to embracing new ideas. That makes it a little bit easier in a corporate world to really work with foresight. Unlike Joe, I didn't stumble upon foresight. I knew about foresight very early in my career. I was lucky to have a boss who had worked at Shell. So he had told me about scenario planning, and I already had the mindset. But what happened was, I used to work for the Walt Disney Company in 2015. And in 2016, they had a drive or a recruitment drive to train specific people who made it through the recruitment process to become futurologists or futurists. So I was lucky enough to be selected, and this is how I started practicing foresight. At Disney, it was more of a voluntary role. I got so excited about foresight, in fact, that I left Disney in 2019 and I started my own consultancy, and then I joined Lego. To your second question, I think I would like to speak about the similarities rather than the differences, because in either case, you need to understand that you're talking about people and people's futures. So if you start from the future needs of people, you either work at policy development or products. So yeah, people are in the center, I think, of